Hey there, welcome to Lesson 1, where we're going to kick off this course by talking about how to prioritize your tasks. Having a good time management system in place will help you categorize your tasks so you know exactly what's on your plate and when each item requires your attention. In this lesson, I'm going to introduce you to the priority matrix, show you how it works, and how you can use it to manage your own time. So let's get started. The priority matrix isn't a new idea. In fact, it was created by Dwight D. Eisenhower while he was president. He used this to help him make decisions on what tasks he should stay focused on each day. And as you can see, it's broken up into 4 quadrants. Things you should do first, things you'll schedule, things you'll delegate, and things you don't want to do. And we'll get more into what falls under each category in a little bit. So how this process is going to work is that you're going to start by gathering and bringing all the things you have to do or go through into one place. This includes listing all appointments, project due dates, events you have to go to, basically everything you know you have coming up. And this can include things like your email, any physical inboxes you have, mail, old statements you have piled up, voicemail messages, your calendar, and of course your schedules. This way you can have everything in front of you and you can look at all the items at one time and make your decisions based on importance and urgency. The first time you do this exercise, believe me, it's going to seem overwhelming. But by doing this weekly and being consistent with it, you'll be able to do this in no time at all, and you'll feel so much more organized. So the idea here is to go through and categorize all of your tasks into one of the 4 categories on the matrix according to urgency and importance. As you can see on the chart, starting at the left and going right, the tasks go from highest to lowest importance. And then starting at the top and going down, the tasks go from highest to lowest urgency. So in the matrix, the top left quadrant, which I said before is the do first quadrant. These are the tasks that are most urgent and important. These are the things that require your attention before anything else. Add these items to your to-do list. This includes things like pressing issues that come up, any emergencies, scheduled meetings, project deadlines. If you can knock any of the tasks off in 5 minutes or less, do them immediately instead of placing them on this list because it's going to save you a lot of time if you could just knock it out right away. So then the next quadrant, the schedule quadrant, these are for items that are less urgent but still important. If you don't need to do it right away, but you'll have a deadline coming up or a hard date to meet, you need to schedule these tasks so you get reminders for when you have time to do them later on. This includes things like planning and scheduling, specific project tasks, personal care, doctor appointments, exercise, any training, research, or personal development that you want to do. So the third quadrant is the delegate quadrant. This is for items that are urgent but less important. These tasks can be completed by somebody else, so that frees up your time. So make sure to delegate and send the task to the other person with a deadline. And if it's necessary, schedule a reminder for yourself to follow up with them at a later date. This can include items like daily calls and emails, unnecessary meetings where you're not required, general filler tasks, unscheduled tasks or interruptions, and then other people's agendas. And then the final quadrant, the don't do quadrant, these are the things that you don't need to do. Think of everything that you might waste your time on during the day, or that if you cut it out completely, you could get something more productive done. This could be spending less time chatting in your break room at work, scrolling the news feeds on your social media accounts, watching YouTube videos, TV shows, that kind of thing. So putting everything together in one place, this is what the matrix would look like. And there'll be a copy of this in the handout at the end of the video, so don't worry about copying all this down. I also put together an example priority matrix here, so you can kind of get an idea of what this would be an example for me of what my matrix might look like. So just a few other notes here. If you have any unnecessary paperwork lying around, go ahead and shred it. If you have emails in your inbox that you don't need or spam, delete those immediately as they come in. Likewise, if the documents or emails are important but don't require any action from you, file them right away. That way, you'll have them for later reference if needed, but they'll be out of your way. In the additional resources section below this video, I've included a worksheet so you can get started planning out your first to-do list using the priority matrix. I've included that filled out matrix as well as a blank sheet so you can fill it in for yourself, as well as 6 tips to keep in mind when using the matrix. So go ahead, download it now, and let's get started on your first assignment, prioritizing your tasks.